Looks like a storm's coming, which is not surprising. If you know anything about living in Brisbane, you'll know that it gets really hot and then it storms, and then it gets really hot again, then it storms. And so these big old trees with branches hanging over the road, you got to keep your eye on them, because they will come down when the winds start to get really violent. But if you do live in Brizzy, then you know that, because it doesn't take many branches on the road to make you go, that's possible. So when you're driving along, you're sort of keeping your eye up, and then you've got power lines too, above ground power lines. So you're kind of just wary of that as you're driving. Whereas normally you don't really look up, do you? You know, it's only when it happens is when you notice, which is like that wisdom, right? Which is that wisdom. Could you know about it, or you can experience it? There's two different things. It's like say for instance, injuries, right? I know that I'm injured right now, and the other night I was drilling. I tore my MCL about 5 weeks ago, and the other night we were drilling, just grappling drills, right? And it felt kind of good. Like I felt, oh yeah, like I reckon I could probably push this a bit harder, eh? And you know, all the guys, we're all old, right? All the old fellas that I roll with, they're like, no. Let's not get crazy. And you know, obviously I take heed, I listen, but I'm kind of like, I reckon I could push it a little bit. And then I went to turn my hips and sort of change directions, and then my knee was kind of like, hey man, you're 41, bro, and I am torn. I'm a torn MCL. So I was like, oh, that's right. That is still torn. It is still recovering. Let's not get crazy. Let's pull back. But I can't help but feel like, man, I'm good to go. I'm so excited. I'm so keen, because I hate being injured, man. Like, I hate it. Well, you know, once you get injured, you never come back 100%. Like, it's rare that you'll come back 100%. Like, I dislocated my elbow, I don't know, 3 years back or something. And that was from jiu-jitsu as well. And it's, you know, it's I reckon 96 or 97 of the way there. But there's just, you know, there's some sort of angles and some positions where I can feel like it's, you know, I've got to concede, right? You just got to concede, and you got to accept it, and you got to work around it. You got to just go to the what's next. And that's such a big lesson, eh? Like, unfortunately, when you train or you play sports, injury is a risk that you have to accept, right? Because the benefit of training, the benefit of constant training or constant activity, physical activity, far outweighs the risk of injury. So especially at this age, you know, I can definitely feel my body taking a little bit longer than it used to heal. And so it makes me a bit more proactive as far as recovery and, you know, rest, listening to my body. Like, I'm way more proactive now, even though I've still got that little voice in my head. Like, I think it's just, I am pretty competitive. So, and I have come back too early, and I've paid the price for that by having to sit out longer. So, yeah, that wisdom, that experience, make sure you listen to that, your own wisdom. You know you the best. You know you the best. You know how to handle you. You know the voice inside your head and what it tells you to do and the urges that you got. So, and you know the results. You know what happens if you make certain decisions, right? So the trick is to like stop yourself and try to think about your thinking, which is a weird thing to say. Think about your thinking. But legit, like you gotta think about how you think. And then you have to put like fail safes in place. Because I know me, I will like go 100% straight away because it's too much fun. And I also know that if I do that in this state, it'll be about 90 seconds before I've re-injured myself. So, in order to, weather the storm, so topical, but in order to weather the storm of those impulses, I have to put in fail safes. And those fail safes are training with a bunch of people who, don't want me to get injured. So they have my best interest at heart, and have other things to do, have an alternative. So I've been cracking pads heaps lately, and that's really helped, regulate my my energy levels, because again I can just get really sort of eager to do stuff, and if I don't get that energy out, it affects my mood, it affects the way I think and stuff. So I gotta really get out there and do something active and just get a nice little sweat on. And then I picked up that reflex trainer, which has been great. Like, yeah, the convenience of having that thing. Like, unfortunately, I don't have a bag stand, like a heavy bag stand, which, that's my go-to. Like, I love just cracking the hell out of a heavy bag, like a 6-foot Muay Thai heavy bag. There used to be one at the Fight Center where I used to work, and it was like, they have a bunch of them. Amazing gym, amazing trainers, and amazing equipment. And I just used to crack the hell out of that thing. And so good. Unfortunately though, that tool is not available to me, but I have an alternative. I have the reflex bag, which is a great tool as well. So I'll use that in the meantime. I'll crack pads in the meantime. And that's good. That's good. I just still have that, but yeah, it'll do for now, hey. But you gotta listen to yourself, man. You gotta learn from yourself, even though your impulses, the what's gonna make me feel good right now voice, even though that's really loud sometimes, you gotta go by the OG voice, where it's like, slow down, young fella. Let's think about this. Let's make a calculated decision. But yeah, man. I don't know. What did I start with? Storm. It was storming, dude. Yeah. That's what I got out of storming. Anyway, I've been looking at the numbers, man. I said I wasn't gonna look at the numbers, and I'm looking at the numbers. I think I had like 57 views. Yeah, skyrocketing to the moon. Anyway, guys, to all 57 of yous, thanks for tuning in. All right, I'll talk to yous.